We Imhotep Nefer Kemet. Welcome in great peace to Egypt. I'm Kaemsenu, the supervisor of the makers of ropes, mats, and baskets during the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom period. I've crossed the time barrier to talk to you about rope making in our country. We Egyptians were the first people to use specific rope creating tools to make it and record the steps of the process. Originally, we made ropes by hand using natural fibers such as papyrus, water reed, date palms, dome palms, and leather. The hieroglyphs of our language include a long list of ropes, fibers, baskets, and bags. There are two styles to lay the strands, the S-lay and the Z-lay. The S-lay means the outer wires, or outer strands, are laid in a left direction around the center wire, or the core strand. Whereas Z-lay means the outer wires, or outer strands, are laid in the right direction around the center wire, or core strand. We commonly used the Z direction in making ropes. The Z-twist was the most common type of rope twist used by ancient civilizations. This twist created a durable and strong rope that could be used for a variety of purposes. Here, we see the ropes of Khufu's boat, known wrongly by some as the solar boat. The Z direction is obvious in this example. Another example of the Z-lay is the unbroken seal on the third shrine of Tutankhamun's tomb. This is a jar sling with the Z-lay rope. This scene represents the strong Z-lay ropes used for dragging the giant statue of the nobleman Hotep from his tomb in Deir El-Bershah. It dates back to the Middle Kingdom. That is a colored rendering of the previous scene. There are other uses of ropes, like here. These peasants press grapes with their feet to make wine and keep themselves balanced by means of ropes suspended from a higher bar. This also shows squeezing grape juice by twisting the ropes. A long rope calibrated with knots was used to measure and mark the boundaries of private property. This is called Pedge Nooh, which means the stretching of the rope. It was a fundamental achievement that enabled us to respect everyone's private property, which has been kept in records like a notary of your current time. This led a long time ago to stop conflicts between individuals, villages, and provinces. After each river flood, the landmarks between the properties and territories were erased. Hence national peace prevailed with the end of conflicts and the country was then unified. The achievement of stretching the rope was the first invention in geodesy and land surveying. Ropes were also used in boats for mooring, holding the sail, and tying parts together. Ropes in ancient Egypt were not always simply utilitarian objects, however. They were also imbued with symbolic meaning and were sometimes used in rituals and ceremonies. For example, ropes were used as part of the coronation ceremony of kings and were also used to symbolize the connection between gods and humans. In religious ceremonies, we can see the rope-laying ritual at the consecration of the temple by the king. This is from Edfu Temple, and here goddess Seshet, the goddess of wisdom and records, helps the king mark the boundaries of the temple by using a rope, which encircles the temple area. In the scenes of the Edfu Temple drama, ropes were shown here attached to the sail of the boat of Horus, who fights the evil Seth using his spear and chain. In religious festivals such as the Good Reunion, we can see the sacred boat of Horus attached with ropes to the boat of Hathor in the middle of the Nile River between Edfu and Dendra. This used to happen twice a year. We could also make an S-lay for ropes like this example. Rope making in ancient Egypt was an essential craft that was practiced from the pre-dynastic period up until the end of the pharaonic era. So, we used ropes for a variety of purposes, including pulling blocks across the desert to build pyramids, lifting and transporting goods, and anchoring boats. Rope making was a skilled craft that was often performed by women, who were responsible for extracting the fibers from the plants and spinning them into yarn. We made rope by spinning fibers extracted from plants such as flax, papyrus, and hemp. These fibers were softened by soaking them in water before being twisted together to form a single strand. Multiple strands were then twisted together to create thicker, stronger ropes. In some cases, men would also be involved in the process of twisting the fibers together to make ropes. 3 people were required to implement the process. The first person would hold out 2 strands of fibers to prevent them from tangling and keep them in a position so that he could feed the second person's fibers. The second person could twist the fibers together to make the rope by using a special tool. The third person who stood behind the second person could keep the rope tight as it was produced. So, he could ensure that the rope was tightly twisted together. This scene represents making a rope of leather. In conclusion, rope making was a fundamental craft in our country. Ropes were not always simply utilitarian objects, however. They were also imbued with symbolic meaning and were sometimes used in rituals and ceremonies.
Make sure to tune into my next videos. If you have any thoughts or questions, add them to your comments. Kindly press the like, share and subscribe buttons. I'm Farag al-Sharabasi. See you in the next episodes. Thank you.